Italian real estate horror story. Listen up, and I'll tell you the story and how I helped my client back out of a really bad deal. So this couple was looking for their dream home in Sicily, and they think they found it. It had a olive grove with several hundred olive trees, a big farmhouse, and a pool. It was listed for 600,000 euro. They offered 500,000 euro, and the owner immediately accepted that offer. That's red flag number one. Red flag number two was when the realtor pressured them to sign the deal. He wanted the deal to be signed before they left town. He even got them to sign it on the hood of his car, and saying that they signed for this deal in the office when they were in fact out in the countryside. Another red flag. In addition, the realtor had a commission based in there that even if the deal fell through, he still was owed his commission. And that commission was 5% of the total, so it was 25,000 euro. So that's a scary amount of money if you back out the deal, that you still have to owe that money to someone, even though they didn't provide any services. So when they came to me and said, Joe, we're really happy to buy this house, but we wanted to ask you and get your advice. I said, okay, run me through what happened. And as they told the story, those red flags that I mentioned earlier kept coming off in my head. And I told them what was wrong with the deal and what the problem was. But I said to them, don't worry. If you cannot close on this deal, if you cannot get financing for this, because it's $500,000 and they didn't have that in the bank. So how do you get the financing for that? How do you get that house if you cannot get the financing? Because if they cannot, they owe that $25,000 to that realtor. So as I explained this was a bad deal for them, they asked for my assistance to back out of this deal. I said, don't worry, we can get out of this deal, it's okay. And they said, what about this commission we owe the realtor? You don't owe him anything because you're protected by EU consumer rights. It's called the 14-day cooling off period, or the right to withdrawal. And that is based on an EU overriding law for everybody. If you purchase something, you have 14 days to back out of it. But since this was after 14 days, they still were covered. And they were covered because he never explained this properly, how it works. He never explained the rights. And since you were never explained your EU rights properly, that extends up to a year. So we drafted up the paperwork that laid out XYZ, why they're backing out the deal and why they did not owe this realtor 25,000 euro. And once he received it, they never heard from him again. So legally they were covered. They got out of this bad real estate deal, and they did not owe this commission for something that, let's be honest, the realtor didn't really provide or earn in the first place. If you are interested in Italian real estate, it's important to educate yourself via stories like this to know your rights, the regulations, and how you're covered when you're purchasing a home in Italy. Thanks. Give me a like and a follow for more Life in Italy content.